So, today is going to be sharing the journey of Areta, who has been someone that I've really admired, especially in the space of visibility, especially in the space of starting from wanting to be hidden to now opening herself to days and days and days consecutively. So, we want to share about your story as you embarked on this journey together for the last 4 months. So, first question being, before we started working together, where were you in your business and what felt most unclear?
I'm laughing because where was I? I was nowhere.
Yeah, we were at
I, I, I,
zero.
could, I literally could say that I was nowhere in terms of like anything, no structure, no outline for any sort of program. I mean, I had thoughts and ideas, but like there was nothing tangible. Like I was nowhere. That's where I was. Was
Yeah.
there another part of the question?
Yeah, and
Where am I
just
now?
yeah, no, that's pretty much. And so I guess what were you struggling with the most at that time?
Everything. Coming up with an outline for a program, like how to make an offering, how to promote myself on social media, because, I don't ever want to be seen. And who likes selling?
True,
No
true.
human that I know.
Yeah, it feels uncomfortable, but it also feels uncomfortable selling something that we don't know what we're selling. So it's also like, what am I even putting myself out there for? So I love that.
Exactly.
And so then what made you decide to say yes to not just only your business, but to also working together?
Okay. So truthfully, like I'd worked with another kind of business coach before you, and honestly, I paid way more money
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and really didn't get anything out of it. I didn't come out with a program. I didn't come out with anything. I mean, they did their best, but I won't say it wasn't all their fault. I would say that at the same time, I probably wasn't in a place ready to show up to be seen.
Okay.
But again, there it was, yeah, there was nothing they tried, but I think they didn't understand me. There must have been a disconnect in that relationship where I understood myself, but I don't feel like they understood me. They just wanted me to create a program. They just wanted to kind of get me through that part, what they were doing, but they didn't understand me enough, I guess, to um, allow, like, I guess, the guidance from their side to come through the way that they needed. I don't know. Did that even make sense?
Yeah, it does. It
But
does.
yeah, but with you, it was immediately I connected with you. Just your energy was like off the chart. Your smile, everything is just great, and your enthusiasm. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Um, and the fact that like you're connected. Like you said that I'm not going to go through this without connecting to your C-suite, your spirit team. And for me, that was super important because I need somebody that's going to also connect with me on that level, just in terms of conversations, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't have that with the other person. Again, no fault of their own.
Yeah.
They were younger as well too. So, um, but yeah, it was like the connection and the vibration and the energy, not only the price.
Yeah. Well, and that's the
and
beautiful thing. Yeah, go ahead.
I was well, and I received so much more, right? Compared to sometimes you think that you're paying for value because it costs more. And I know a lot of people put a lot of weight on that. And not to say that you're cheap, and I'm not saying that's because it's cheap. It's it was perfect. And the value that I received was so much more. Um, and I did so much more. Like your guidance, like the checklist every week, honestly, I was intimidated by that weekly checklist. What do you mean 20 items to do? I would freak out. At the first time I freaked out. But it gives me such a, like, it was such guidance without realizing. And it was like, oh, I did that so easily. And to check them off, to see me checking them off was a sense of accomplishment. Even if everything wasn't checked off on the list, there was a sense of accomplishment that I did achieve something during that week. So that was like my measuring point for myself to say that I'm actually doing the work. I'm actually doing something, where I didn't have that before. It was just like meet, talk, and then I was on my own. But with you, even though we met, we spoke, we did all the things, when I was on my own, I still knew what I was going to do, or what I was meant to do or supposed to do during the time that we weren't together. So that when we connected again, there was a measurement of the work that I was willing to do from on my own. And you made it easy for me to do the work, if that makes sense. And even though I didn't I didn't like the work, you made it easy for me to do the, how could I say that? You made it easy for me to do the work. And I think if anyone is looking for assistance, advice, leader, guidance, or whatever in their business, is that you do make it easy for us to do the homework. And nobody likes to do homework, but the creative ideas that came from you and then, expressed through me, that it was just like, it was easy enough. I didn't look at it other than the first day, right? But it was, it helped a lot, because I created a 12-week program that I didn't even think that I could do. And then to be able to start applying that program with someone else, even though I wasn't sure or comfortable with it, it's literally the foundation of, I know what it is that I'm here to do, and it's working out so seamlessly, which is crazy, right? So anyways, I think that must have answered
that
your
was
question
so
ad nauseam.
juicy.
Sorry.
No, that was perfect because yeah, it was such a journey to see you from where you were to where you are now, because at first it was a lot of hiding, it was uncertainty, like yeah, coming with your, hands empty, and to hear that the checklist was intimidating is a little bit of a good thing, right? Because once again, you completed so much during the week. Like I always say, anything above 0 is a huge win. It's not about being 100%. We're not graded like at school anymore, because now you have a resource that you have for life. Like every single thing is eventually going to be checked off on that list, as small as just like believing in yourself, or as big as like, let's start marketing this on Facebook groups, right? It's eventually going to be used. And it was a lot of creative back and forth, which I loved the most. And we could remain in the moments that we had every week, and then have the extra support when when we're off on the week. So, which is perfect.
Exactly.
So now, what are some tangible results that you experienced, whether that is visibility, income, clarity, confidence? What tangible things have you seen in your business change?
Well, okay, so for me, it's definitely my, I want to say courage. Like I'm a little bit more courageous, a little bit more. I am. I want to answer all of that question, but like, could you repeat it again? Because like something's coming through about this.
Of course.
What?
Tangible results. Things like visibility, confidence, income, anything that you saw an increase or a shift or a change in your business.
So for me, it's showing up like on social media, like is not, that when I first started, I was like, I don't want to show my face. I don't want to post. I wasn't posting. And I think after just trusting, like, when I said, oh, I'm just going to go with how I feel. You're like, yeah, trust, feel. Like you encouraged me to just go with how I feel. Don't put any pressure on myself. And then remember posted that random video and it got 15,000 views, likes or whatever. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I think that's when I started to go, oh, okay. Because you're like, well, use your voice. If you don't want to show your face, use your voice. Make a video just with your audio and blah, 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 blah. And so that's what I was doing. And people started watching my videos, which is interesting because not anybody was really watching. Well, I wasn't posting, so you can't watch what you don't post. Sure. But people started to watch and engage. And then from not wanting to be seen, like now this is like clearly weeks and months later, but I'm showing up. Like today has been day 11 of 111 days that I am showing up live on TikTok. And when like from day one, when I first was doing it once a week, and the 111 days is separate from that once a week trial that I was doing, which was terrifying to my system, and to realize I needed to show up more for myself in order for my system to calibrate. And your encouragement to just do what feels good, do what's don't overdo it, just do what feels right for you. I'm like, okay, here we go, to be seen. From not wanting to be seen to say that 111 days. And even this being day 11, I spoke to a gentleman in Trinidad this morning. Do you know what I mean? Like, he jumped on my live because that's what I want. And he jumped on and he was sharing his story, and just like the encouragement back and forth for, like, I know I'm doing what I'm meant to do. Like, I've been talking to this young guy a couple days ago, this young guy from Africa, and he was just like, I'm so grateful. Like, I think I found my soul family. I was praying to God to meet someone, and you remind me of my mother, is what he said. That's the greatest compliment any guy can give you, well, a young man could give a woman that he's not interested in, is that they remind him of his mother. So that's safety and security that you're energetically expressing to another person. And so slowly, like, people are actually starting to join, and I'm getting more comfortable in speaking. And that's huge, because to be in business, you got to be seen.
Totally.
Like, you are the face of your business, and if you're not comfortable showing up, then you're not going to be comfortable selling eventually, and nobody's going to be buying from you because they don't know who you are at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So I feel like I'm going step by step in my own way. I'm fully locked in on the selling yet, and I'm okay with that because I understand this journey for me on that level. I know I will be making money. Like, there's no ways. There is no way me coming out of this with you. The information that I have, like even creating the 4-week course that I haven't even promoted yet, but I created it. I would never have thought to create something like that if it wasn't for you. Even with my Selfish Systems Audit, let's just call it my selfish, like, you were just like, hey, what about calling it the Selfish Systems Audit? And I'm like, oh my God. And to know that that's so in alignment with what the messaging is going forward, you're going to hear a lot of people talking about being selfish. And I'm going to be crazy if I don't start pushing that out there, because it's on the cutting edge of our shift in humanity in terms of loving ourselves beautifully from a selfish, sacred, selfish space. And I think that with your guidance, I was able to really see that selfish, sacred selfishness from that place, because otherwise I would never have boldly put it out there. If you hadn't given me the foundation and the encouragement to be able to say, be bold about it. You're like, well, be bold.
Yeah.
Because I need to be. Right? So, yeah.
Which is beautiful. Yeah. I completely, I would say you have truly found your identity. Like, it was such a like you're saying, the feminine does need healing before any masculine structure can be built, right? And the way that you started from, like, I'm not going on any social media, and just finding your poetry and finding your hundreds of recordings, I'm like, you're holding on to something that people are searching so deeply for. And to see you go from that to now showing up every day live is like, that is a huge, huge visibility. And it's because you felt safe doing it. It was never about pushing you to do anything that you weren't ready for. It was like, okay, let's try this. Let's get comfortable with this. And now you're doing this 111 day of being live. I'm so unbelievably impressed and so inspired by that. I think that is so
Yeah.
cool.
And I'm happy. Like I even went live before this call. I went live at 1:45, I think.
Mm-hmm.
No, 12:30, 12:30,
Yeah.
1:45. And then I did a live till like 1:30. I did like for 51, it was about 51 minutes or so that I did the live for, because
Oh my
I'm
God.
saying that I'm showing up every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know what, I'm going to do it before I did the call with her and just see how it would go. I didn't tell any of my friends. Sometimes I will let my friends know that I was going on live and they'll come and support me.
Yeah.
But today I was just like, quiet. I'm going to let it rest and be.
Yeah.
And because there's safety with people that you know around you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so to like go on it without having any sort of anchor, right? Just showing up as myself without relying on anyone else but myself to be seen.
Totally.
Man, it kind of felt good, weirdly so, because I realized that sometimes I'm hiding also by holding on to, dragging other people along in it with me. And I said, I'm going to let Mish know that I went live with nothing and no one, and I showed up in full support of myself. And I couldn't have done that 3.5 months ago. There's no way. There's no way I could have done that. I couldn't have. And so for that, I am beyond grateful. I'm so great. Like, you don't even know how grateful I am, because I could not have gotten to this state and this place within myself without you and working along you and your guidance and encouragement. And that's a truth. That's just a truth for me. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with where I'm at, because I think that you're an awesome human being. You are such a great supporter and encourager to us women to that really hone in and build our business and support ourselves. What can I say? I know, I'm like my insides. My insides are doing all of these things because I have shifted, and I have to acknowledge how far I've come. Like, we don't always do that, for ourselves. But sitting with you here today, I am a different person. Like, the person that sat in front of you 3.5 months ago, is definitely not the same woman that's sitting with you here. I'm still shy. I'm still a little quiet, but I'm so much more empowered. I'm so much more myself. There's so much more truth of me that I'm willing to share and to speak, and I'm so grateful to you because of that, because I literally would not be sitting here without you. And I don't care what anybody says. They said, don't put it on that person. I'm putting it on you.
And
I'm putting it all on you. Yes, I did my part, but I couldn't have done my part without you. Seriously.
You're so welcome.
So just so you know.
Yeah, thank you. And once again, it's just been an honor. It's because I see it in you, right? It's namaste. The light in me sees the light in you, and you had so much. The fact that you have these voice recordings and you have so much wisdom to share and so much guidance, and it was just like elevating you to a place where you felt like you were ready to share that voice, because there's so many people, and as you've seen and as it's been validated by the world of TikTok, people are looking for you. And as soon as you feel ready, just like when you felt ready to come on live, like when you feel like your program is ready, when you feel like you are ready to take on the 4-week clients, when you are ready, you will know it, because your body will be asking for it. The same ask that it had to just go on live for the first time, and then a second time, and now every single day. And that's where I feel like the emotional shift. And do you feel, yeah, maybe that is, because my next question, funny enough, is like, what emotional shifts have you noticed in yourself since starting? And it sounds like, yeah, the visibility, the comfort, the confidence. I guess, has there been any other emotional shifts that you have felt in the last 4 months?
The fear that we are so filled with so much fear, our self-projected, judgments and fear of everything. And I was terrified in all the ways. And you've given me great suggestions in terms of showing up. How can I show up in a way that it's not about being authentic, because I'm authentic all the way through, but that's gonna garner more calm, I guess, in me. I can't even think of the words, but to override these fear that was going through me. And when I would go on, I couldn't talk. Like literally, it's what was going through my head. And then I'm stuttering. My mouth is dry, and my brain is all panicked. And I'm like, oh my God. Now, if you saw me today, it just was like I jumped on, I opened my mouth, and that fear that I would always feel. And I think in the back of my mind, there's some sort of fear narrative. But I've done this for 11 days now that the narrative is quieting down. So my system is getting more grounded in just being, right? Which is the hardest thing for us to do, is just be our authentic selves. And you're always speaking authenticity to me. And so when I show up, I got to remember to breathe and just be present and trust that that is enough.
Yeah.
You know?
It is.
Yeah.
It's more than enough because, ultimately you were sent down here with a mission. Who is going to stop you from fulfilling your mission? People who maybe are feeling like they're jealous, or that they're at a low vibration, that they feel the need to interject, but when we're living through our spiritual purpose, there's nothing that can stop us because we have to fulfill it. It's not a need, it's a have to. And we're just very lucky that we have energy work behind us to share. So then for someone like ourselves, or like yourself, for someone who has gifts or has these abilities but isn't sure, like they're feeling stuck, or they don't know if starting their own business is right for them, or they're just not, or they don't feel like they're ready, like what would you tell them?
I would say to take a chance on you, because even though I didn't think I did not think I was ready. So, and it's not that you said I would be ready. It wasn't that. It was, I know I wasn't ready, but I took a chance to meet with you. And then I took a chance to say, okay, let me sign up. And the thing was, I don't think you know this part, but in my head, I was thinking, oh, I'll sign up. We'll start in January. We spoke in November. Okay. But in my head, I was like, well, let me just start in January for the new year, so that, like 3 months, whatever the story that I had going on. But then it was like, what about now? I don't know if you said, what about now? Or I recognized that me waiting till January was just like wasting precious time that I could actually start right now. Because now is how everything begins. And I think you said now. And I was like, oh, now? I was like, now? Yeah. And I would say to sit with you, to start with you, because you don't know when you're going to be ready. And to say that I am ready is a lie. I am not ready. But you learn to start when you're not ready, because that's how momentum is built. And boy, do you infuse all of that. You're like, okay, do this, but I'm not ready. Okay, well, we'll tweak it and do it like that. We'll do this. And it was all about just movement. Like, we're never going to be fully ready for anything and everything. But with you, I think it was just so subtle, like your guidance, that allowed me to get to a place where I felt ready. Even though I still say that I'm not, but I'm doing it, right? Can't do it if you're not ready, but you can't do it when you're ready, because what's ready?
Yeah.
There's no perfection. There's no fully knowing everything. It's just taking a chance. And then when you have somebody in your corner that can see your vision, clearly guide you, knows exactly, what you need, I say, yeah, take a chance with Mish, because she knows. And and I think in the taking the chance, that's all the readiness that you need for everything else to be ready.
I agree.
That makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. Yeah. And I think, a lot of people, when they say I'm not ready, It's because they don't think that they're ready for their business. And as you know, the first month of us working together, it's not even about business. It's about the
Yeah.
wounds. It's about the challenges. It's about what is your self limiting beliefs? What is it that's going to stop you? And if we had started in January, if we had started in February, the first few weeks we would have had the same discussions. What is going to stop us from getting
Yeah.
to where you want to be? What is going to be the hurdles and obstacles that I'm just going to have to work around, so that way I'm not pressuring you into doing anything that you just don't feel it
Exactly.
is the time. And the beautiful thing that you did is you stayed so true to honoring yourself. Even when I had like wild ideas, I'm like, let's try it. And you're like, no, I'm not ready to go on camera. Great. We can't go on camera. Can we get our voice out there? Yes, great. Here's how we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this nice cute little video that Canva's already created. We're gonna put your voice attached to it. We're gonna do that this week. And so you stayed so true to yourself, knowing that you weren't ready to go on camera. So we worked around it. You were
Yeah.
ready to go on camera, but only on a reel. Fine. And then you're like, I'm ready to go live. I'm like, that is you. That is, you were ready for that. And I was just there to just inch things along, just because I saw the
Right.
potential.
It's beautiful because you know what those doing the lives have done, and I'm actually gonna go back to them because TikTok is now, I guess you get to a certain amount. I now have access to all the full recordings of the lives that I've done.
Yep.
So now I could go and do the clip outs of the good parts, not like the stupid parts that TikTok is
Yep.
clipping out, but me actually saying something. So that's content. That's such valuable content that I'm so grateful for, because I wouldn't have had it if I hadn't taken the chance to go live and just go working through the process and seeing how it unfolds. Now I actually have great content with my face, not just my voice, but with my face, where people can look and see, oh, she's actually saying those things, which for my business is so important. And that's, I think, another thing that why I haven't pushed the selling as much in my business is because I didn't feel confident and comfortable showing up live and speaking. And while you know, and I know that I got brilliance up in here, I'm not gonna lie. I think I have some fantastic things, but the way that I was showing up did not reflect that. And so I'm like, how are people gonna have confidence in me if I don't appear confident? And I'm just like, that's okay. I'm just not gonna sell. Let me show up in all the ways that I can show up. And now I have been, and I have the content behind it. And that's what's going to bring the value to those who want to hire me as a coach. So I think as I get more lives in and I'm doing more clip outs, then they can see what I'm about, right? Because it's hard to see, especially when you're transformational, if people want to talk like that. I'm not doing beauty, like I'm not doing art, I'm not doing something that's tangible to people, like pulling cards and doing like birth chart readings and things like that. I am a conversationalist.
Yes.
And through conversing is how my brilliance shows through. And so I need a platform to show up and speak, even if I'm stuttering at the beginning, but it's happening and I can see it happening. And now I have the receipts, if people like calling them receipts. Look, I really actually can say amazing things and I am brilliant. And now you get to see it too. And I get to see my brilliance too. That's another thing. It's about seeing yourself. It's so hard to see yourself in this life, in this journey, comparing yourself to other people. And I think one of the biggest thing for me is like how supportive you are in me.
Heck yeah, I am.
Like I mean, don't laugh, but it's like if people out there like really understand, like if you are just such a shy person and you don't believe in yourself, like having someone out there who can see your brilliance and fully encourage you within that, that's an amazing thing to have. And I think that you do that so beautifully well, is that you're such pure joy. Like you're just like happy. And like when you express like a brilliance about somebody else, you're so happy within it and you're so joyful. It's like, how can I not see my own brilliance within that context? You're my mirror. Right. And so like I'm able to see myself through you. And man, like, honestly, like these last few months, I am blessed and I thank you, because I would not be where I'm at. And I feel like as I am ready to, I'm getting goosebumps, like really to step out more into the world, I have a solid foundation. And that's so important to me, is to have like a solid foundation of being, where I know that I have the ability to run my business because I've had this experience. And yes, there's always so much more to learn, but this is a great foundation for someone like me, who didn't have anything, who didn't believe in themselves, who didn't think that they had anything to offer, who didn't want to show up on social media or for themselves in any which way. And 3.5 months later, like, somebody is looking at this would never think that I showed up going, no, I don't want to.
I know.
And the panic that was going on inside of me, like nobody would think that happened, but it did.
It did.
But that's the proof of the work that we've done together. Is like, I'm out on the other side of it, and I could absolutely say that I'm so grateful that I said yes.
Yeah. I'm so grateful you said yes to. And, the one component that I hear you say, like, the selling is not coming to me, but you know what? That's the selling that I want to teach all women. You're doing the selling right now. By going on live, you're creating yourself as a magnet. You are pulling people in instead of going out and trying to find your ideal clients, right? Like, that's masculine selling. That's leading, strategy, going out, structure. But what you have done is you've done the feminine selling. You've created abundance here. You have so much wisdom. You're speaking intuitively. You're channeling information. And you are doing the selling, and there is going to be that one person that lands on a TikTok that's going to immediately say, I need to work with her. And that's the selling that I'm pushing for every energy worker, is not to constantly feel like you're running out of people to work with. Build within and everything becomes attracted to you. It's feminine energy, right? The bees go to the flowers. The flowers don't go to the bees. And you are a flower that has opened up its petals, and we can see those big red petals now. And the petals are attracting the most beautiful bees. And you've already had a client, and you're going to have plenty more, and it has been such an honor being a part of your business. Yeah.
Oh, I thank you so much. Today someone, they came on. This is probably the second or third time they showed up on a live, and then they were asking a question. They asked me to pull a card for them, because now I brought my oracle cards online, which I would never have thought of doing before, but now it's helping me, right? Yes. So I was shuffling this card, and this person said they had like a lot of physical pain, and I went, and I said, well, physical pain, like your body being pain, is just a signal from your body that there's like trauma that's not been acknowledged. I go, I'm not saying that there's nothing like this could be medical, but I said, I've experienced that type of pain where you're holding on, the body's holding on to so much that it's just signaling to you that something needs to be faced, right? And she was like, oh, okay. And then she's like, I'm going to process that. I got to go right now, but I'm going to process that and come back. And I was just like, come back again. I said, DM me if you have any other questions, right? Because I'm recognizing these are ways now I can start, like these little questions that I'm answering for people, a little guidance. It's for them to go and do, and then to come back and say, okay, I did it, and what came of it. That's the conversation I have with them. But I've seen her show up a couple of times, and I'm like, potential client in the future. So as I continue to show up like this, I'm keeping my eyes open. I'm keeping my eyes open, right? And going, okay. And that is something that I wouldn't have done before. I wouldn't have encouraged them to reach out to me or all of this stuff, and giving these advice that, what nobody, she didn't think of it, that, oh, there's something that I'm not facing within my life. And so in me being able to kind of like throw that out there, I'm like, okay, let me just do that now. Where before I would have just, oh, read you the card. Let me just get the book and read you the card with the information that it says, and not acknowledge that she has chronic pain, other than saying, oh, take some Advil and go to the doctor,
Right.
right? Now I could say there's probably something deeper within you that's not being addressed. Now that little seed has been planted in her ear for her to come back for more, and like you said, that's the selling. It's not in the
Yes.
way that it was done in the past. So thank you for
Yeah.
showing that to me again, that is,
Sure.
I am actually selling.
You are.
So that makes it more comfortable for me, and that actually allows me to see other ways in how I could actually offer my services, selling without the
Yes.
typical, hey,
Yeah.
come,
Yeah.
$5.99.
Exactly. The art of feminine selling is truly the way of the future, because the art of feminine selling is building community, which you've done on TikTok. It is create a magnetizing offer that people feel like, wow, I need that. It's also building trust, because trust is a feminine trait. And for those that want to work with somebody, there are hundreds upon thousands of coaches out there. Credibility, we don't always know, but you can't fake a vibration. You can't
No.
fake looking at somebody, hearing their authentic voice as they are live, right? We see so much online that is, pre-recorded or even AI, but to see a live person speaking, you are attracting somebody who is immediately saying, I need to work with this woman. I don't even know what she does, but I need to be around her. I need to associate with her. I need this. And that's what you've
Yeah.
created so well. You've created it
Yeah.
beautifully.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
beautifully. Mm.
I think I am. I keep getting compliments that
Yeah.
I'm pretty. And this young girl was just like, I don't know what you're saying, but you're pretty. And I'm like,
Yeah. But that's sometimes,
yeah.
and when we are speaking from a place that, when we're speaking on a topic we love, when we see somebody, we're like, wow, look at that person just living in their purpose. Look at that person just speaking
Mhm.
about something that they're so knowledgeable about, because they've spent years likely speaking about this. And that's what they're saying about you. And it's only a matter of time, and it's building authority and feeling connected. And yeah, this has been such a beautiful journey to witness you in a very big transformation in a very short period of time. So like I said, it's been an absolute honor to be a part of that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for you.
Yay.
I'm glad that I said yeah. I'm glad that I reached out to you. I didn't know how to reach out to you, and I was just like, mm,
Let me try.
Instagram. I saw you. Let me DM her and just like be like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm so glad. Well, first off, it was because I reached out to you for a reading. That's how it
Mm.
all started, right?
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that I did that, and then transition into becoming your coaching client, because I think the universe works in just mysterious ways, because I met you, so to speak, over a year and a half, 2 years ago, when you were doing your psychic medium stuff.
Yep.
And to say that you were in my peripheral from then
Yep.
to then, oh, okay, let me get a reading, to then, there's no, like, I love the world, okay? People got to understand that when somebody shows up in your path, you get to like really see the purpose of them in your life. And I appreciate, like, I'm recognizing that meeting 2 years ago almost was just
Yeah.
exactly what was meant to be, for us to be where we are right now, for me to be where I am right now, because I couldn't have gotten here without meeting you. That's the important thing here,
Mm.
so I'm not going to forget that. I didn't do
Yeah.
this all on my own.
Oh, thank
Okay,
you.
so
Thank
you're
you.
part of
Yeah.
this.
This has been so beautiful. Thank you again. It just, everything that you've shared, I really hope it does inspire the next person to be able to just take a
I hope so.
very big leap on themselves and to invest in themselves. And like the energy workers who have not been taught sales and marketing, it doesn't require us to start by
Yeah.
putting ourselves out there when we're not ready. It's honoring what the healing that needs to come through. It's honoring how we want to show up when we feel ready. And ultimately, when we are able to do those two things, then people become attracted by what we have to offer. So thank you. Thank you for letting me show that
No,
to you,
thank you.
and
And
being, yeah.
I didn't even think that I could do 30-minute interview either, right? I was just like, you want me to talk for 30 minutes? Oh my God, on
Easy,
camera?
easy. Now it's just a part of your journey. It's just, where else can I be interviewed? So thank you. Thank you again.
You know
Thank
what?
you
You're
for
so
everything.
right.
This has been beautiful.
This was great. I appreciate you and I thank you. And I know that this is not the end for
No,
us. We'll
definitely
continue to connect and I will keep you updated to all the crazy, brilliant things that I know that I will continue to do in this
not.
life. So
Amazing.
thank you.
Thank you.